Hi, this is Nina Ross, and we are going to get into a new format. This format is going to be very relaxed, and this is the type of format that I am considering going live stream. So what I'm going to do is do a couple of videos in the exact format, in the format in which I want to live stream. If it's successful, if I get enough comments and feedback from you guys, then we will take it live. My plan is to discuss weird and outrageous employment news stories. Things that don't quite make the news. They make the news, but it's not in the mainstream news. And I tried to get stories from across the pond as well as here in the United States. So if you are watching this video now and you've heard of some weird and outrageous news stories about employees and employers, please send them to me. My email address is nina@ninaross.solutions. There are a couple of caveats to that. I won't be talking about workplace violence where people go through and shoot up and kill or stab everyone. I think that would bring down I want to lighten up the channel. I don't want to bring it down. Our first story comes to us from Perth, Australia. A Perth office worker was jailed. She stole $1.2 million from two small businesses, one of which subsequently went into what they call administration there. I think that's our equivalent in the US to bankruptcy. She took the money because she liked to go out shopping, have coffee with her friends, and have nice things. She did this not at one business, but two. She's been working these guys for 7.5 years, and it equated to her paying herself an additional $160,000 a year. Who was asleep at the wheel on this one? It was a family-run hardware wholesaler, and she started stealing 1 month after she got there. She continued stealing even when the company went bankrupt. She stayed on, stealing money, knowing why they were bankrupt, yet she didn't stop. She just kept stealing. And then the second company, she went there 9 days later and she started helping herself to the company profits. She was confronted by one of the owners. They asked her why she did it. She replied, life. And then she went on to reply to go shopping and have coffee with friends and have nice things. Now, she had no drug problem, no alcohol problem, no gambling problem, no financial problems. She just wanted stuff. She didn't even have any expensive jewelry. Here's my thing on this story. There were two business owners who were asleep at the wheel financially. This was preventable. It's called having weekly financial meetings. It's called checks and balances. It's called approving expenditures. It's called being active in your company's financials. You must be active in your company's financials, and that means requesting and asking for profit and loss statements. It calls for asking and requesting registers. Who is this check written to? Please sign your own checks. Do not use the check stamp. I don't care how much you trust the person. Ask questions. Who is this vendor? Why is this person being paid? Look at your payroll records to ensure that everyone is being paid the proper amount as agreed upon when the employee was hired. Check to make sure raises have been given. Check to make sure that no one is being overpaid. Again, this was incredibly preventable, all by business owners being active in their financials. If you don't know what questions to ask your bookkeeper, I did a video on that subject, and I'm going to link it. I'm going to link it somewhere up here or up here. And that way you will be you will be able to start out the meeting asking the right questions. This next story comes to us from New Jersey. This is dated January 31st, 2020. There was a mayor in New Jersey who became so intoxicated at an employee's house party, he took his pants off and passed out in her empty bedroom without permission. The next day, he apologized for his behavior. He said he only confirmed that he attended the party and had too much to drink and that it was a private matter. It's not a private matter when you're a public servant. So this is an employee who had a party at their house, and one of the guests, who happened to be the top guy in the city, decided he had enough. He was sleepy. He took his pants off. It was nice of him to go into an empty bedroom and go to sleep. Employers, we must do better. If you as an employer decide to attend one of your employees' functions, regardless of what it's for, wedding, whatever, please be on your best behavior. You are the leader of your company, regardless of where you are. That means you can't get drunk. You can't take off your pants. You can't pass out in a bedroom, whether it's occupied or not, without permission. Please set some checks and balances for yourself so that you can represent your company, or in this case, you can represent your city with pride. Ooh, talk about office gossip. Not only do you get to represent your city or your company with pride, you will have less idle gossip around the office about what happened at so-and-so's party when the head of the company did whatever. You'll have a lot less talk like that. This next story comes to us from the city of Detroit. This took place in March of 2010. There was a Detroit woman who sued the city after she complained that she couldn't work due to her colleague's perfume. The employee claimed she was chemically sensitive and the coworker's perfume and room deodorizer made it difficult for her to breathe and do her job. So much so, she suffered migraines, nausea, and coughing. She won $100,000, and a new employment policy was enacted at the city of Detroit, stating that employees could no longer wear scented products including colognes, aftershaves, perfumes, deodorants, or even use candles or air fresheners. Here's my problem with this story. When she complained, her boss ignored all the complaints. Did nothing. And that's a problem. Employers, anytime you have an employee who is complaining about something that is stopping them from doing their job, that is what I call a stop, drop, and roll moment. Stop what you're doing, drop everything, and figure out what is going on with that employee. Even though you may or may not meet the threshold for the Americans with Disability, the ADA. If an employee comes to you and says something is stopping them from doing their job, you need to figure out a way to help that employee continue on with their job. And for a place like the city of Detroit, you really need to stop big time and make sure your employee complaints are answered, because that could be a litigation, which is what happened in this case. And check out this last line in this article. Well, one of the last lines in this article. The boss did not engage in the interactive process. Had he just communicated with the employee, explored the options, all of this may have been avoided. Please do not ignore. And when an employee does come to you with a complaint of any kind, please address it. in writing and address it verbally. Here's a story that I had to dig for because I remember it from way back when. This happened many years ago, 2009, so 11 years ago, this story first came to light. It's about a dentist's office where the lady was fired because she was too irresistible. And I'm going to get to the short version of this story. The business owner was a dentist office. His wife worked in the practice. The plaintiff in this case worked at the dentist office for 10 years. As it says in here, she spent 10 happy years working as a dental hygienist until he blindsided her with a pink slip claiming that she was a threat to his marriage. For 10 years, no problem, working fine. 6 months before she was terminated, she started exchanging text messages with the boss, talking about kids, dogs, general conversation. And then he sent her a text asking her a sexual question. We have to keep this G-rated. She didn't respond to the text. She never said that the text was uncomfortable for her. She just kept it moving. Well, the wife works in the dentist's office. She found out about the text message and I guess she confronted the husband. They went to their church pastor. The church pastor was with the business owner, the dentist, who fired the lady. The plaintiff sued for gender discrimination. Employers, if you're going to terminate someone, I would not be bringing in the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. I would bring in someone who worked in the office. If I had someone, if I didn't have someone, okay, I may have to bring someone in as a witness to terminate, but I would not be making a big deal out of it. I would let the employee know that they are being terminated, and that's it. In Texas, this is an at-will state. Less said, the better, in my opinion. If they violated any type of employment policy, this is the one you violated. Have a nice day. Good luck with the rest of your life. I would not make it to where it is a huge case. I fired you because it says in here that he fired her because she was a threat to his marriage. She might have been a threat to his marriage, but he should not have told the employee that. He should have just said, you know what? I'm terminating because of whatever reason. This is an at-will state. I don't need your services anymore. Please do not get dramatic with terminations. It should be soup to nuts in less than 5 minutes. I mean, total time from the time that person comes into your office to the time they hit the bricks outside, 5 minutes, less, tops. Oh, and by the way, she lost her case and the Iowa Supreme Court decided to listen to it again, in 2013, and they came to the same conclusion. So let me know what you think about any of these stories that I discussed. Let me know about this new format. What do you guys think about it? Because this is just me talking off the cuff, getting on business owners who should have been doing a better job with managing their businesses. Any comments you have, let me know. And if you know of any stories that are similar to these, send me an email to the link at nina@ninaross.solutions. Thanks for watching.